Today is day number 17. I was talking to the captain today. He came to me on my gangway watch. He was just doing a lap around the ship, stopped. We ended up having this 30-minute conversation. And, talk finances, talk stories, just had a nice little conversation. But, shoot, I just had it too. I just lost my new discussion. Okay, maybe I'll remember. Either way, today I started off, and my overtime, we got a new dumpster yesterday, so we've been offloading all the old metal and all the old trash. We got some welders aboard that are been redoing those catwalks that I've been painting, and they basically cut out all the old rusted metal that is beyond repairing, and it was all stacked up. So for the first hour and a half, I was using the crane to pick it up, put it in the dumpster, pick it up, put it in the dumpster. And then after that, I painted some orange, and then I went on my watch. Pretty good day. And then I had that conversation with the captain, a few different topics. Talked about finances, talked about being able to save up big sums of money and go home and be able to throw nice down payments on stuff. And what was it? Oh, okay, here's the topic. Back to the contracts and seniority, along those lines. Basically, you got those good, there's the low-end contracts when you don't have seniority, the middle grade contracts, and then the high seniority contracts. This company kind of has a poor reputation in history of lower paid contracts, but now it's kind of actually in the mid-range, and a lot of the old sailors don't really know that, but it's kind of in the mid-range. Even older sailors that have come here now, they were surprised because they didn't realize how much this company's been paying. But it's in the mid-range. So, but on that note, it's in the mid-range, and I get 4 hours of overtime every single day. So it's 12 hours a day. But now you look on those nicer contracts that are more sought after, basically they balance the scales out to, let me give you this option. Okay, so you have the option, two different options. You have one option, you get 4 hours of overtime every single day. Now, that's double your days base. Basically, you get paid time and a half. No, you get paid double. Man, I can't remember the stuff, but basically, okay, I'm getting sidetracked. You get 4 hours a day of overtime. Let's make some even numbers. So say you're getting $5,000 a month. Okay. Now these are just imaginary numbers for you guys to think of. But say you're getting $5,000 a month doing 12 hours a day. Your 8 hours are regular and your 4 hours of overtime. 12 hours a day, 30 days, and a month, and you're getting $5,000. Now your other option is you're gonna get paid $6,500 a month, but you only get 1 hour of overtime a day. You see? You see what I'm trying to put out here? So you have the option of making more, but you work less or work more. No, did I say that right? Yeah, you know, it'll balance out. Basically, those higher seniority contracts will be a higher base, but with no overtime. And that's what a lot of guys shoot for, because if you only have to work your 8 hours, and even with your 8 hours, you're getting $5,000, where on these other ships, they're working 12 hours and getting $5,000. Obviously, that's a nicer gig. You only have to do your 8 hours, and you got plenty of other time to go off the ship or, you know, sleep, do whatever. But there's people that will come to these contracts and not realize, like, because you're never gonna know, you're not gonna know how much overtime is in the contract that you're signing up for, because overtime it's not mandatory to give it to you. It's an option the company gives you. So now on that other side, so you got that contract that, you know, you're getting 4 hours a day of overtime and you're making $5,000 a month, but you didn't know you were gonna get that overtime. So your base could be around like $2,300 a month, $2,500 a month, basically like half that. So your base could be $2,500 a month, and you're going to the ship thinking you're only getting 25. But you have the option to work 4 hours overtime, double your monthly, and get $5,000. Now you have another ship that, like I said, is your base is going to be $6,500 a month. Already you're like, yes, because if your base is $6,500 a month, that's not including overtime. But you get to that ship and they're offering you an hour to 4 hours overtime. Obviously now you're doubling that. You could be getting $14,000, $15,000 a month. Is this making sense? It's pretty simple, I think. But that's basically the scale of, you know, bottom end of the contracts to the upper end of the contracts, lower seniority, higher seniority, and really in all aspects it's fair, because there's 3 seniorities in the union, A, B, and C. C is with no time at all, you just join the union. B book is you got, I believe, 365 days. And then you get your A book once you get your 1080. And that's kind of like, if you think of it like an incentive to stay with the union and keep sailing unlicensed, because now you have the seniority, you have the 1080, which means you have the experience, and the 1080 also means you could get your 3rd mate license now. But if you stay in the unlicensed union with SIU, you have those higher seniority contracts that you can pick from over top the B books and the C books. So now, instead of looking at a base at the lower end of the contracts of what a C book might be looking at, say 2,500, you could be looking at a base of $6,000, but it's still, you don't know at either end whether or not you will get overtime. You could get 4 hours overtime with this $6,000 base contract, and that could just about double your monthly. Even on this end, the $2,500 base contract, you're not gonna know if you get 4 hours overtime. You could get to that ship thinking, oh yeah, you know, $2,500 base. If I do 4 hours overtime a day, it'll double my base. So roughly, maybe I'll make $5,000 a month. You get to that ship where the base is 2,500, and they could say, there's no overtime on this ship. Now you're on a ship with a base of 2,500 a month, and you're stuck in that contract until it's over. I mean, there's always quitting, but that actually looks bad both on the union side and for the company side if you ever do decide to go work for that company again. Because that same company could have a contract that's $2,500 a month base, but it could also have another contract within the same company that's a $6,000 base. So you really screw yourself if you try and quit out of a contract, but it all matters on the circumstances. And yeah, so that's my discussion for tonight. I hope that made sense. I hope that put into perspective, you know, the different kinds of contracts you could possibly see, but also weigh out. Again, $2,500, but you get 4 hours overtime, so $5-6 grand. Base contract of $6 grand, but no overtime. You know, you're still right in that middle point. I think I'm just getting repetitive now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion, this little information. Please subscribe, please like, share my videos, share the content, share the channel, give me a thumbs up. And thank you again. Thank you for all the subscribers. I literally wake up every single morning and see another 1 or 2 of you subscribing, and it just fills my heart. All right. So thank you guys. I'm out. Have a good night.